Welcome back here to Fly Palmy Arena for boys AA Pool B matchup. St. Bede's up against Nelson College. Andrew Horrocks alongside Josh Thompson. Josh, great to have you back with me today.
Yeah, thanks. Good to have me back. Good to be back. Obviously, we had a commentary change with Stace not feeling great, so I got the call up this morning, and I was more than happy to do this game here, South Island matchup.
Well, you were saying before you've got a bit of history with St. Bede's, former coach there.
Yeah, so I was the coach for St. Bede's from 2010 to 2012. So yeah, a little bit of history. It's good to see them back up. Obviously, you know, they through the COVID years they had some really good teams. Obviously, one player in particular, Walter Brown, who's now with the Jump Jacks, I believe, in the ANVL.
Yeah, one of my favourite players, commentating him for the last couple of years in the under-23s and under-19s as we get into the team list here for both teams. And I'll let you do St. Bede's as a former coach.
Yeah, thank you. So we got number 0, Troy Kuspach, 3, Cooper Siavi, 4, Felix Falconer, 7, Arga Torres, 8, James Lean, 11, Jackson Siavi, 12, Corbin Fisher, 13, Ashton Walls, 18, Lockie McLean, 19, Thomas Martin, 24, Hunter Kuspach, 33, Hamish Patrick, and coached by Grant Venn.
See them celebrating at the end of their warm-up for Nelson College. Number 0, James Matthews, 6, Taylor Matthews, 7, Adam Barton, 9, Tom Carrington, 11, Toby Middleton, 12, Heath Lyon, 13, Stephen George, 16, Nicholas Davidson, 22, Robbie Lawson, 23, Sam Perkins, 62, Devontae Meredith, 91, Lewis Trotter, and head coach, Sammy Dempster.
Yeah, Nelson legend himself, Nayland boy.
The bald bucket.
Yeah.
Referees for this one will be Mikey Graham and Jake Young. Nelson College, storied history in this competition, champions in 2000.
Yep.
Mike Fitchett was a player back then.
Yep. Mika Vakona, I believe. He came out of Nelson College. They've had some great players. Jeremiah Truman back in the early 2000s. I know Ollie Hill was there in their championship team, son of legend Stan Hill. So they have a very rich history, and they managed to supply Sammy Dempster to coach their team from Nayland. So no, they look pretty good at South Islands, obviously finishing 3rd because I got to see them a little bit there. So it'll be interesting because I do like the way that St. Bede's play with Grant Venn. They have a lot of changing aspects to their defense, so they'll mix it up quite a lot during the game. So it'll be interesting to see how they go.
Well, a big game here for Nelson College. They got the massive scalp of Westlake boys on day one. So if they can take down St. Bede's here, then it's going to give them an opportunity to try and clinch that all-important 3rd spot in the pool and give themselves a chance at a prelim quarterfinal to go a bit further in the competition. Yeah,
so that's a massive win for them. Give them a chance, because looking at the results, you know, 2 quite heavy losses to Rosmini and to Mount Albert Grammar. So them beating St. Bede's in this one will give them a good shot at that third spot, the all-important qualifying game that everyone's fighting for if you don't win out in your pool.
Well, I've got no doubt that they're going to be sticking around, because after this game, although it's not on the live stream, Westlake boys versus Mount Albert Grammar, Westlake boys are going to need that one if they want to go any further in mags. They're going to want to win that so that they can try and keep that 2nd spot in the pool. And then Westlake Rosmini tonight.
Yeah, so there are big games, you know. Day 3, this is where you start figuring out who the pools are, so and seeding and placings, and this is where it really gets down to business these last, especially starting today.
So the Kaitakato are on the floor ready to go, and a big shout out to the BB&Z crew who have put this all together, especially Catherine with 2 N's in her name. She's done a fantastic job of keeping it positive, keeping everyone engaged, and couldn't ask much more from her. Of course, Geordie for getting all the commentary notes sorted for us. Thank you so much, Geordie. Appreciate all the mahi that you're doing as St. Bede's get us underway. Nice little action there. Mid-range jump shot is a bucket.
Yeah, that's James Lean. He's one of their real important guards that they have. They have 2 really good guards in him and Ashton Walls. So expect a big game from both of those players for St. Bede's to have a chance to win this game.
As a Kuruwhiwhi Toru attempt there is no good, and St. Bede's still an outside chance as well to make the top 3. Big losses to Westlake and Rosmini, but if they can win this game and then beat Mags tonight, they're a chance as well. So big implications for both teams in this one. Now the Kuruwhiwhi Toru attempt is long, but we're going to have a foul early on here called by Mikey Graham.
Little hook there, I believe, by number 13. That's Stephen George.
I'll tell you what, in terms of cleanest uniforms, quite a fan of the St. Bede's.
Yep.
Black and red pinstripe.
Known for a rugby school, but they have been a very good basketball school over the years. Like I said, through the COVID years, they had some great teams. Just unlucky that they weren't able to showcase their talent.
Little floater there, long, off the glass, and away come Nelson College. And it looks like almost a 1-3-1 there from St. Bede's. Don't see that very often, Josh.
No. It's quite a big thing in Christchurch, the 1-3-1. I know we trying to use it a little bit for Lincoln Uni, so we throw it in every now and then. So it is quite common in Christchurch to see a 1-3-1. So
Grant Venn getting a little bit vocal. So one of my favourite times. What are they going to see? There's a player wide open in the corner. Taylor Matthews, but not seen, and out to the break. And the Kuru Whakau, nice and easy for St. Bede's.
Yeah, Hunter getting out on the break, lefty player. Had a privilege to coach him for Māori's tournament, so great young kid.
And another big steal from Lockie McLean, out to the races. And the Hara is committed. St. Bede's, what a start here on the live stream, game number 2.
Yeah, that zone is really giving Nelson trouble in terms of finding gaps. And St. Bede's have been really good being active with their hands and arms up.
Well, you said it's a big thing in Canterbury to use a 1-3-1. Outside of there, I don't see it very often, so it's kind of hard one to prepare if you haven't seen it a lot.
No. Obviously Sammy will have a few things up his sleeve to combat it because like we said about teams scout all the time.
Good rebound there from Toby Middleton. A little bit of half-court pressure. And Middleton is fouled on the pass, so that's going to be a sideline inbound for Nelson College. I was talking about before with Ryan. I feel like the speed every day has just gotten quicker and quicker across this tournament.
I think once the teams have got more comfortable and players have been adapting to the style, they getting more comfortable about playing. And
here comes James Lean all the way to the hoop, and the easy Kuru Whakau for James Lean of St. Bede's. Spin and finish, and that's the first points of the game.
Stephen George with a nice strong finish down in the post with a spin.
And we're already seeing a little half-court press for Nelson College, giving them another possession, another bite of the cherry. Good ball movement, up fake. And it's interesting, isn't it, Josh, when you've got one sloppy pass, it doesn't do anything as Taylor Matthews converts the easy Kuru Whakau. College And easy layup for Taylor Matthews. Wondered if he might try and out-jump his defender there, but just uses his body beautifully. As we're going to see a sub here for Nelson College, Adam Barden into the game.
As we see the finish there by Taylor Matthews.
And good no call as well, I thought, by the referees. As we see a nice little layup up and in there for St. Bede's.
Yeah, a little rub screen there to get McLean open.
No finish there, a lot of contact. And the tūrapa ends up the hands of St. Bede's. Little floater short. And out comes Nicholas Davidson. Around everyone with the right hand, but big block. Another big block. St. Bede's have got some athletes, Josh.
Yeah, they do. I really like the way that James Lean played vert, managed to get the block, and then McLean again with another one. Both teams seem like they really came to play, and which is great for us out here in the commentating.
Here come Nelson College. And we've had a bright start to this game. It was nearly halfway in the first quarter. The Kuru Fifi Toru short on that one. It's always nice, Josh, anytime there is full court pressure.
Yeah, just to see the way that different teams, how they handle it. Do they dribble? Do they pass?
Nice little on-ball screen there. Rip through. And over the GJ Gardner home sign.
I really did like the ball movement. As we see, replays, James, great block there from James Lean, and then again from McLean on the offensive rebound. And that's a great defensive position there by St. Bede's, as we see them sit back in there 1-3-1.
Kurufifi Toru attempt from the corner is no good, but the offensive rebound goes the way of Nelson College. Little floater is good, and one. Beautiful finish. Nicholas Davidson.
Really liked the look of Nicholas Davidson when I saw him down in Invercargill.
I feel like the floaters have made a comeback in this tournament.
Oh, for sure. And I've seen a lot more mid-range jumpers throughout this tournament, which is good to see. I'm a big fan of mid-range jumpers.
Yeah, easy foul call. Defender was just up. Hands are out.
I think that's number 2. If that's Patrick, he'll be getting a...
The way the coaching staff have got up, you've got to assume that's the case.
Yeah.
But too late there to get the sub in before the free throw attempt. So they're going to be hoping that Adam Barton makes this one. Sorry, makes the second. I was in AAU mode there for a second. I still find it weird, different countries have different subbing rules.
Oh, yeah.
Misses the second, and we'll see if that has any effect on the 2 fouls. Nice little press break there from St. Bede's. Hamish Patrick there it was, just over halfway, just being a nice little safety blanket. Oh, what a take, and foul off the tupper.
It's a great take there by Lean.
Well, it's good. They're finding just those little seams, aren't they, and attacking them. And then putting the referees in a little decision-making process.
I think so. Bede's managed to get that sub in with Thomas Martin coming in for Hamish Patrick. Shout out to Brenda Martin too, Thomas's mum. She does amazing things for the Māori basketball down in Canterbury, helping get that off the ground.
Here are Nelson College.
It's a box and one.
Great extra pass, and the Kurufifi Toru is good for Adam Barton. Love seeing a box and one.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I ever saw it would have been the Tall Blacks in 2000 and I think 2004. They were playing a home series and Phil Jones got put in one. As the Kurufifi Toru is good there for St. Bede's. Both teams electric beyond the line. But ever since then, it's been kind of a cool thing to see. Have you ever seen a triangle in 2?
I have. I've actually run one with St. Bede's back in the day. So
Great extra fight there from Devontae Meredith. Who'd you run that on?
I think it might have been Cashmere High School when I was at Bede's. Maybe some may know Elliot Noble, and it would have been, I can't remember who the other player was. Burry, I think it was. I was a big advocate of trying things defensively when I was young. These days I normally stick to standard stuff, but when you're young you just try out the gate stuff.
It's funny, I feel like the more you coach sometimes, the harder it gets, because when you're young, you don't know any different.
No.
You're just like, oh, try this, try that, try this. When you're older, you're like, oh, well, I can't do that, can't do this.
Yeah. I have thrown a little bit of boxing one over the last couple of years with my coaching, but generally with the new systems of, you know, pack defense with BBNZ, it's been a lot different, so I have kind of changed a wee bit.
Great little sideline trap there for Nelson College.
Yeah,
and they get the chocolates out of it. Oh, what a kick ahead pass. Great verticality there from St. Bede's.
It's that man, James Lean again. He's done a great job with the block and then that vert there, so he's Mr. Everything at the moment.
Great back cut, couldn't convert, asking for the tip.
Mikey's just going to chip with his counterpart.
I always love that when referees are willing to be human and
check. Yeah.
Just check.
Yeah.
Don't have to change it, but just check. 2-point game here, Nelson College 14 over St. Bede's 12. Great little up fake and gorgeous finish from Adam Barton. He's really been a bright spark for Nelson College thus far. And oh, they got lucky there at St. Bede's.
That's not where you want to stop.
Good Fifi Toto attempt is good. Beautiful finish there from Stephen George.
Ashton Walls that was.
My apologies. I was looking at the wrong team list. I always get confused. Anytime the darker colour is Team A, always throws me. There's a great little putback there, and Nelson College back out to an 18-15 lead.
Yeah, St. Bede's alternative uniform is black, I believe.
The biggest other pet peeve, teams that will either sit at the wrong bench, or warm up at the wrong end. A few teams that when I've coached, because in Canterbury we play home and away games, and I'm having to tell the opposition, oh, you have to warm up on this end. But generally, my teams are already warming up on the right hoop, so trendsetter.
When they come in to the gym, they know where they're sitting and makes it a lot easier.
We have Australian teams come over for our Easter tournament, and they always prefer actually going the wrong way, because then the coach's explanation was, I can talk to my defense in the second half, which is fair enough.
It's a great up and under there from Coop.
Again, both teams flying around in that half-court trap. But on the whole, as you see, more animated coaching. Great little up fake, swing pass. If it had been in the pocket, it would have been a wide open three, as it was off the tupper. And big rebound by James Matthews.
Nelson just a little bit bigger than St. Bede, so St. Bede's really need to put bodies in front and get defensive rebounds, as you see a foul.
So with these teams being South Island teams, they would be at the same qualifiers, wouldn't they, for Zone 4?
They were, yep. I think Nelson
with third. St. Bede's sixth.
Yep. I was with Cashmere. We beat St. Bede's in the quarterfinal. So I got to see a good portion of St. Bede's for a game. So I know that they like to run different sets defensively. So they always changing constantly, throwing defenses off.
Bit of a laugh there from Cooper Siave, if you saw him in the background. Good press again, but well broken to the hoop. And a foul there on 62, Devontae Meredith.
I like the attack there, the intent to attack from Hunter, but my mindset, if you don't have a easy layup after breaking a press, you know, just to calm down, move the ball. Kind of got lucky there, attacking the bigger Meredith.
What's your base defense out of a press? Obviously, I don't want to give other coaches who go against you in the future too much ammo, but do you like to go press into a zone or press into a man-to-man, trying to scramble?
I like a bit of both. Scramble. I like a scramble match. I'm not a big zone person. I can say I was a big zone person earlier out of a press, but I think I tend to go back press into a man.
2-3 look there from Nelson College. Shot clock running down.
Fine.
And out. And that is going to do us for the end of quarter number 1. Nelson over St. Bede's 22-18. Josh Thompson, pretty good game in our hands thus far.
Yeah, two really good, well-coached teams. I like the half-court traps. Both teams have had to adjust. Both teams have got stuff out of their half-court traps, which has been good to watch too. And yeah, it's going to be good. If it keeps out like this, we're in for an exciting finish.
Well, that's always what we want, isn't it? Day 3, the games start to tighten up. As the joys of the big screens, some of the local teams seeing themselves. I haven't seen a dab in a while, actually.
Yeah, that's Kaipoi. Shout out to Kaipoi High School in the North Canterbury.
So St. Bede's only down 4 here, Josh.
Yep.
Are they happy with what they're doing? Is there any adjustments you think that they might want to make?
I think the biggest thing for them is the offensive rebounds. They really need to. They're doing a great job initial defense, but they're not finishing it with defensive rebounds. So I think Grant's going to talk about that. And I think for Sam Dempster, more of the same. Just keep attacking the boards, keep attacking the rim, and just, you know, find that they've had a lot of open threes, so which they're moving the ball really well. So I think both coaches will adjust, so it'll be interesting to see how they plays out in the second quarter.
Of course, don't forget, if you want to come down and watch some amazing basketball, it's only $20 for the week. Josh, I think there's 270 games in total that you can see in that time.
Yeah, always a great week. We harped on that last night about how exciting it is to actually have it back, because there's nothing else but more exciting as for a player to represent your school. You know, it's cool representing your region, but there's just nothing. There's something different about putting on your school jersey. You know, you're there every day with your teammates, and you know, it's like a whānau for a lot of these teams is your basketball team.
My favourite thing is always, you might be watching a game on court 2, and then whisper starts coming down all the courts about a tight game that might be on court 7 or court 8.
Yeah.
And so you make your way down there, and everyone's just huddled around trying to watch this game, like the New Plymouth boys game against Auckland Grammar yesterday.
Yeah, that was
loud.
That was loud. Yeah.
They're a bit more intimate, those inner courts, aren't they, compared to this court. It doesn't actually it'll give a true reflection of the tournament later on in finals. But those first couple of days, this court, if you think this is what Nationals is like, trust me, it's not. Big Kuruwhiwhi Toru and Nelson College get us underway here in quarter number 2.
Off that offensive rebounds that we talked about in the quarter break.
I'll tell you, there's one adjustment I'd like to see out of that Nelson half-court trap. They're doing such a good job of making the offensive player pick up at half-court.
Yeah.
Just leaving a player up around halfway for that cross-court pass is another beautiful finish from it was Toby Middleton.
Yeah.
Slippage, Kuruwhiwhi Toru attempt is short.
It's a great
offensive rebound. And there's going to be a foul called on Hunter. Is it Kutzbach?
Kutzbach, yeah. He's one of those players that will annoy you.
But you love to coach.
Oh yeah, love that.
It's like River Dreyfus.
Yeah.
Most annoying player I've ever coached against in reps, and then had opportunity to coach him a little bit earlier this year. As another Korowhiwhi Toru is good from James Matthews, but ended up being one of my favourite players I've ever coached because you just love it when it's on your side.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nelson doing a great job at finding the corners. St. Bede's are exposed for those corner threes, and Nelson are doing a great job at finding them.
I liked as well, I don't know if you saw it, but just that weak side seal. If they start looking at that, it's going to be open out of the corner cut.
Little flare screen, which I saw a great play ran by Alex Stojakovic yesterday to get a three-pointer to send their game into overtime with Te Aroha.
I think it was the most fun I've really had, wasn't it? We ran down and out of the commentary booth to see if there was any other games going on. Didn't have to go very far to find potentially one of the games of the tournament thus far.
Yes, if you weren't there, 7 seconds to go, Te Aroha down 3. Alex Stojakovic calls a timeout, and his team executed the play beautifully and got a corner 3 to send it into overtime.
And the big part of that as well was just before that, Manakura had actually run their own play to get a 3 to go up 3. So what a game as a Korowhiwhi Toru attempt off the back of the tapa and the tūrapa. Goes with Nelson College.
St. Bede's had some good looks this last couple, and there's an offensive foul on the screen.
Good call from Mikey Graham. I was talking to Ken Coulson last night, just asking him for a bit of insight on what they're talking to the referees about. I'd asked about the offensive screening and being set, and if that had been talked about, it had confirmed, because we've seen it a bit more called, and it's actually pleasing to see, because whilst it might hurt you in the game, I feel like in terms of the long-term development for the players, it's in their best nature.
Yeah, like we talked about too, with the game having so many on balls on it, getting the screening right is always a classic.
Tough look, and it's going to be ripped out, and travel called there on Toby Middleton.
Good call there from Mikey Graham. I think he was on one knee, and you can't stand up.
I'm sure back in our day though, you would have seen it a lot on the M1 mixtape.
Yep.
Oh, great seal. And blocked from the looks of things from Taylor Matthews, but last off St. Bede's. Here's Nelson College balls. Have another look at it on the action replay.
Yeah, good call from Mikey. Did look like it came off Patrick. Talking about N1, watched a good doco on N1 on Netflix.
Is it the one that came out the other day?
Yeah, the old untold story about N1, the rise and fall.
Did they talk about the Pula Hinare ones, aka the Tai Chis?
They did. They talked all about all the shoes and what came out, and there was a New Zealand clip of them travelling to New Zealand on the show. So
I remember that the guy who was actually in my year, didn't go to school with him, played against him in Denmark, actually made the New Zealand team in that. He was only 14 at the time.
Yeah, there was.
Great finish there from Toby Middleton.
They used all 24 there. Bedes have done a better job at, chasing out on the 3 in these last few possessions. They just need to sort their offense out. This 2-3 zone that Nelson is playing is really bothering them in saying that they find the gaps where you want the ball to go at that high post there.
Well, that's a big thing, right? They just got to get the ball into the high post and then assess off there. I can remember some great zone-busting 2-3 plays given to me by Kevin Bray as well, that when a good zone play works, it's pretty tough to stop. Great little finish, though, off glass.
It's,
Ashton Walls.
Strong. They're managing to find the seams in the zone, which is great. This is St. Bede's in a man-to-man.
Thought an extra step might have been taken there, but cleaned up by Wolves. Here comes St. Bede's on the break. A good transition defense there from Nelson College, just to slow things down. Rejects the on-ball. And again, good tip. But a steal. I like the right idea, though, trying to make that extra pass. But good hands from Nelson College. Good up fake into the corner. Doesn't even hesitate with the Kurufifi Toru. And that was why Taylor Matthews did not hesitate, because he knew that was a bucket straight away.
Yeah, I think that's his second three-pointer.
Have you noticed the adjustment from Nelson College there, Josh? They've actually left that player a little bit higher up now.
Yeah.
On that half-court press.
Yeah, and it's really starting to bother Bede. We should take a stat on how many defensive St. Bede's play in their quarters. A little Iverson cut action there.
Nice little action there into the on-ball screen. Turns the corner, great pivot. Excellent kick out, secondary drive, floater. And he gets a lot of Papamuri on that one. No tapa. And again, just those extra hustle plays.
Yeah, those are things that will win you games.
A little bit sloppy from both teams. Away come St. Bede's spin move.
Ooh.
Off the tapa again. And even though it's a 13-point game right now, Josh Thompson, it does not feel like one does, that it feels a lot tighter than it is.
Yeah, just Nelson are just making these easy. There's as you see the replay, great move to get open by James Lean, but just, couldn't finish.
Nice little ball fakes there. And I really like the super high defender there from St. Bede's up the top, but it leads to a wide open Kurufifi Toru. No good, and a foul's going to be called. Devontae Meredith doing an excellent job of getting position there on the offensive rebound.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a menace there for St. Bede's on the offensive rebound. I think that's like his 4th or 5th for this game. Obviously, we're not keeping stats, and that sends Patrick to the bench with his 3rd foul, I believe.
We may not be keeping stats, but like any good coach, Josh has got those little things in the back of his head at all times. Jump shot is short. Off the tapa.
Those fouls and timeouts are the biggest things that I remember during a game.
I'm intrigued. You're coaching high school or young rep athletes, as we see a big Kurufifi Toru for St. Bede's. What are the key things that you're asking your assistant to look after?
How we score, how they score, and a lot of off-ball movement from opposition teams. What's happening on the way screens and cuts, because as you know, as a coach, you only have 2 eyes and you can only see so much and you miss so much. And
there's a big Kurufifi Toru there from Sammy Perkins. And I reckon I'm a former coach now. Josh, we'll go with that.
You're coach at heart, though. You still can't get it out of you. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I was almost actually an international head coach later on this year for the Tonga women's national team, but
yeah, that's right.
Gave it away.
Any reason? Any insight on why it was given away?
Work commitments. I wasn't able to get the time off.
Yeah, that's always
a bit tough, man. That would have been something to tell the grandkids. We've seen another Kurufifi Toru. Off the top, wow, saved as they take out the Caltex signboard. And don't you love to see hustle rewarded with that?
Yeah. You can't, there's no coaching hustle, that's just ingrained in players, and, the hustle leads to a wide open 3. And I still think St. Bede's are doing a great job. It's just Nelson are hitting timely 3-pointers there.
Now, one thing I want to talk about, Josh, that I saw last night on social media that Basketball New Zealand put up, Hanley's Farm has come on board as the naming rights partner for the under-15 girls national team.
Saw that.
On their trip to Guam, and they are covering the travel fees for all players, for all 12 players.
How awesome is that?
That's got to be unprecedented, right?
That's crazy. Yeah. Shout out to Hanley Farms.
Because I feel it's not even a basketball issue, it's across all sports. I reckon it's an issue. So for us to get something like that and the financial relief it provides to those families, because we know those trips.
Yep.
And it's through no fault of the owner of Basketball New Zealand. It's just the world we live in where its user pays.
Yep.
To have that financial burden relieved to a point, getting rid of the travel cost, which is a massive part of it, I think that is an outstanding thing. So thank you so much to Hanley's Farms. And all I hope is that if we can get that across all of our age groups, where cost doesn't become a barrier for the athletes to represent the country.
I think that is that is amazing. That's one of the biggest things that we're working towards, is to not let the players pay their way at age group basketball, and what they've done is amazing, and you know that is a step forward in the right direction for basketball in New Zealand.
If anyone in the Basketball New Zealand office is listening, Geordie, I know you usually are, there is a Basketball 102 sign that has gone down on our side that needs to be picked up. No doubt one of the young men who's been in the gym this morning, probably at 5 AM, can wander down and pick it up. Long days, mate, if you're in the gym at 5 AM.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's such a big day for a lot of the staff that are here, volunteers. So big shout out to all our staff at BBNZ.
Got to meet Tess Pentley last night, who's in charge of organising the over 100 volunteers. Yep. And I said a massive thank you, because I find it hard enough organising my own life, let alone 100 other people's schedules. And the volunteers, as we said before, pulling some massive hours. A lot of them are here early in the morning, late at night.
Tess Pentley, shout out. She's known me since I was a child, when I used to run around in this gym. And I'm pretty sure my mother taught her in high school.
That is a hell of a stat. As offensive foul was called there from Mikey Graham. And that's going to go against Corbin Fisher. So we have another look at it.
Managed to get his body in front.
And looking ahead to 2023, Josh, if any company wants to come on board and sponsor our replays, please get involved and let the Basketball New Zealand know. Because I'm not going to say the name of it, but we can all remember the name of the paint company that got shouted out about 50,000 times. As another koru whiwhi toru, courtesy of Taylor Matthews, but all I can think of is Justin Nelson's Australian accent. Yelling it out 30 times a game.
Hugh Bainham, shout out to Hugh. He had to say that quite a lot too.
It's funny, isn't it? Because you don't think of something like that as like a major sponsorship.
No.
And then, lo and behold,
it would have been great to see the word count on that. You know.
I wonder if they were paying per mention. If so, that could have got very expensive, but good for basketball.
Because when you think about it, NBL, Tauihi League, they had to say it, so...
Shout out to Sal's, of course, the naming rights sponsor of the men's NBL.
I like the action that St. Bede's are running. They're managing to get to the hoop pretty easily. They're just, Nelson's length and size is just bothering them at the rim.
Well, that's what happens when you've got a mind as sharp as the bald bucket himself, Sammy Dempster. Yeah,
having chats with Sammy down through the stadium about, you know, how the boys are learning. And
another koru whiwhi toru for Sammy Perkins.
And Nelson just doing a great job at penetrating and finding the open three-point shooter. And it's not just one shooter, you know, it's 3 or 4 that have hit threes in this game, so...
Well, they're replicating their coach, aren't they, a little bit? I got to watch the bald bucket in action. We're sitting courtside for the Tuatara against Nelson. As another koru whiwhi toru goes off the rim, and Sam Dempster, I think, had about 27 points in that game.
Yep. Played really well this season, you know, rewarded with his first Tall Black
call-up,
so that's awesome. Most improved as well.
In the NBL. Yeah. Again, great work from Nelson, just getting the ball down the court quickly. Another koru whiwhi toru attempt off the back of the tapa. Thought he got away with a bit of a shove there.
No, he didn't. Mikey caught him.
I was being on the rebound there from Stephen George.
Great rebound.
Oh, no, it was right. Sorry, yeah. My apologies.
The rebound, I think, was fine. It was the hook at the end there.
That's great, isn't it, having multi-talented people, as it looks like St. Bede's are going to get the last shot of the half. Great adjustment from Nelson College. Get the tip. But it's going to stay St. Bede's ball. Under 10 seconds to play here.
There was that adjustment. You talked about leaving taking away the cross-court pass, making it difficult.
And that, I believe, is going to be 2 shots for St. Bede. So a bit of a reprieve there for them. Bit of a coach killer.
If we do get a shot of the score bench, I believe that's Joe Frost down there running the shot clock.
It's the quietest I think Joe Frost has ever been, if it is Joe Frost. I love Joe, though. He's the man.
Yeah, he's my old high school coach when I was at Palmy Boys. Timeout there, and 3 seconds. You know, 3 seconds is a long time.
It is. I actually really like this call from Sam Dempster. There's no point. You're going to lose it at the end of this quarter, so why not try and do something up? Because if Nelson College are going to advance further into this tournament, then they might find themselves in another situation where the game's on the line.
Yep.
Same situation.
Which we've seen in the past. Long 3-point shots to win games.
Shout out Cam Stone, 2016.
Yeah.
I was rewatching that actually the other day. Someone put it on a Facebook group. I think it was Matt Schmidt.
Yeah, it was. It was, you know, talking about how exciting that secondary schools can be, and, you know, when it's all on the line like that was, it was a great game. I remember that game. I think Palmy came back from 20 at halftime to take the lead at the end. And
yeah, I was actually lying in bed watching that in the middle of the day. I remember watching it on my laptop, and I thought Rangi had stuffed it. I thought Kenny's call of taking time out before the free throws was a very ballsy decision, but it paid off. Right, so 3 seconds to go. Nelson College, can they find an advantage? Kick ahead, and just a little bit too late there. Even though the bucket was good, it's going to get waved off. So we're halftime here in Fly Palmy Arena. Nelson College 47, St. Bede's 30. We're going to have a quick break, and we'll catch you for the second half.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather 20 years ago.
One of our biggest problems we have in New Zealand is lack of facilities, the lack of ability for kids to be able to just go in and shoot hoops. With our Hoops in Schools, Hoops in Parks project, it enables kids to be able to get out there and just have a go, you know, just be able to shoot hoops and have no boundaries, just go out there, have some fun. By not being able to get inside to a lot of facilities, this solves a lot of our problems. We're seeing the hoops that we've already installed just be so well utilised. Every time you drive past the school that's got these hoops in it, there's always kids using them. We know it's going to increase participation in our sport, which is a great thing.
Yeah, Hoops in Schools means to me just a lot of opportunity that when I look back and reflect on my experience at home in Portland, Whangarei, and in the schools, and there wasn't a lot of hoops around, but there was the odd hoop, and we'd always meet there, all the locals, and we'd have a ball, have fun, and that was a game for all athletes that played all different sports.
It's fantastic to see the ongoing growth of the Hoops in Schools program across the country as we continue to go into different regions. Seeing Tamariki and Rangatahi continuing to have fun through better accessibility is just priceless. And the true value for us is seeing the positive impact it's having across communities here in New Zealand.
It's been absolutely fantastic. We've been able to put 24 hoops into 12 schools right across the province. They were installed a month or so ago, and already we've seen the impact that it's had with kids getting out in there and playing them outside of school hours and the weekends. It's really had a huge impact on the game.
It was good to get into the community today and see the kids just having fun and being able to, you know, have access to these amazing hoops that have been put into new communities, because a lot of schools don't have access to these things.
now, looking at this initiative of putting a lot more hoops in schools is amazing. I've been to 3 or 4 schools today and just seeing the faces of this young tamariki has been awesome. And it makes you think about where we're headed and where we've been, and it brings a smile to my face too.
Want to catch a fuel bargain with Caltex and Supergold? Scan your Caltex at Flybuys or Airpoints for 6 cents off per litre with Pumped. You beauty! And show your Supergold card for an extra 2 cents off. Ah, feels good.
Welcome back here to Fly Palmy Arena. Andrew Horrocks alongside Josh Thompson. We'll take a little look at the St. Bede's huddle. And we're talking last night about scoring records. Josh, well, James Matthews, who plays for Nelson College, had 62 points in the final of the Junior South Island Junior South Island Premierships.
Yep, I was actually there. I was there at the Junior South Islands. I didn't see his 62 though. I heard about it, and I think they scored 90 points. Yeah.
I think I only had 62 points in my entire junior premierships, let alone 62 in one game.
As we see, James Matthews took a knock there, taking that charge in the first half. Hopefully he's all right. He's down there. Sam Dempster sitting next to him, so hopefully we see more of him coming out in the second half.
Now, notice as well, a lot of teams have the top seats head coach and an assistant. When I assisted Jody Cameron, we went assistant, Jody, assistant.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that when you've got multiple assistants? Do you like to split them up so you can listen to both? Do you have one report to the other and then report to you? How do you go about it?
I do like the head assistant, because you can hear both 2 ideas. Funny enough, I've coached a lot of teams, and I actually haven't had an assistant coach until I played in the D-League for a long time. But I do like the assistant way, just getting ideas.
Or if you're Lindsay Tate, you've got assistant, Lindsay, assistant. I have much to say, man. Like when I started coaching, the first time I had Ken Coulson, we alternated, so I coached 17s, he coached Prems, and then we would assist each other. But outside of that, maybe just I wasn't very good, so no one wanted to assist me, but I always struggled finding an assistant. And then it's finding someone that fits in with your ideas, right, and gives you what you want to hear, and you work off each other. But yeah, actually, one of my favourite assistant, I coached Rosmini's B team last year.
Yeah.
Matt Drury, who was in the Prem team, just would randomly pop up at our games and be able to become the assistant coach. And he's actually quite fun to work with. So if you can find that relationship, it can be quite a fun thing.
To be fair, I do enjoy being an assistant coach, because you have responsibilities, right? But it's not as massive as the head coach.
Yeah, that was actually one of the comments that I used to receive was, you seem like a completely different person when you're head coach versus assistant coach.
100%.
Maybe it's because I had no responsibilities. Well, obviously you have roles to do, but if your team loses, it's not on you, is it?
No. But shout out to all the head coaches here. They do a great job, and they've done a great job with their teams to get them this far.
And shout out to the assistant coaches that could be head coaches if they wanted to.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, 2 of the ones that stand out to me, I know it's Auckland bias, but the relationship between Matt Lacey and Sonny Tuaputa is seriously special. And then as well, Aaron Young and Sean Nance.
Yeah.
Sean's pretty overqualified. He's coached a lot of younger rep teams when his son was in the country. And her son, having been at St Kitts for the last 3 years, assisted this year.
Yeah. And then obviously Josh Davis with Westlake as an assistant there. So
Yeah, Mark Jackson back in the fold.
Yeah.
Had what? I think he had 3. Maybe he was there in 2013, maybe 4. I don't want to get that wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mr. Jackson, one of the legends, coached a lot of great players through that Westlake.
Yeah. He's got 3,
Time.
09, 12 and 13.
He was there 05, 06 as well.
85 and 06, so that's 5.
But 2012 was Ben Eves. I was actually chatting to. He's at St Andrews now, in New York though this week, visiting the homeland of his wife.
Yep. Played against Ben Eves.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he was. He could shoot the ball. He was a good player. He's, I think we are the same year in high school. So he left when I left. I actually repeated. So he left, I repeated. So no, he's done a lot for Stack over the last, I think, 5 years he's been back in Canterbury. So shout out to Ben Eves.
Having that little Iverson cut straight into a potential sprint on ball. But short there on the lap 10, Nicholas Davidson. Here come St Bede's. Lovely spin and finish. And that's the start they wanted. Trying to keep their tournament alive.
Got their bench into it. You love to see great energy from bench because that's a key part also.
Good up fake drive. And
Good
just
finish.
slow on the help rotation, wasn't it, that allowed that space for Adam Barton to get the layout.
I really like the look of Adam Button, you know, he's good length. Can shoot, you know, obviously he had a couple threes in the first.
Well, it's Miles Pearce, I believe, is the one that's choosing the AA boys tournament team. He's wearing so many hats this week.
Yeah,
is
he is.
Miles coaching. He'll be in the commentary booth for a semi-final. As a big toru, Fifi toru from Nicholas Davidson. And they have not cooled off at all in the second half from the three-point line. Is that good verticality there,
I
Josh?
think that was good verticality. He didn't lean forward. That's that offensive player initiating contact. I think that was a good no call.
Kurufifi Toru attempt, and the rebound is going to stay with St. Bede's.
Interesting. They're a lot closer than us, so I'd agree with Mikey Graham. Yeah. Believe Mikey lives in Auckland.
He does. He's actually the head coach of St. Peter's, who, great little play there out of the inbounds. Led St. Peter's to 8th in the Zone 1 qualifying, always hotly contested. Went down to Sacred Heart and a nail biter in that one, actually. So close, no cigar, but Mikey, being such a talented man, down here as a referee.
Yeah, from Christchurch, so known Mikey for a few years.
I never knew he was a coach. I always knew him as a referee.
Yeah, no, he Higley College, community college. He was there for a long time, so did great things there, and obviously he's doing great things at St. Peter's in Auckland.
Actually beat me out for that role. I applied for it and then didn't hear back for a couple of months because Mikey had done such an amazing job in his application that they said that's the man for us. Might have them back in Auckland Premier grade next year as well.
Just got a score update. Kashmir beating Waimea in the hotly contested third spot, I believe, in Pool D.
What's the score in that one, Josh?
It's 54-38 to Kashmir.
And it's interesting because Waimea watched them play yesterday up against Rangitoto College. Extremely impressive, taking them down. We saw Rangitoto on the live stream on day one. So it's quite a young team as well, isn't it, that Waimea team?
It is. Led by Tall Black legend himself, Phil, with his son Hayden there. But they have good pieces around. That team's been around for a long time. That Waimea team finished second at South Islands, beating us, Kashmir, in the semi, I believe.
Great little bump and finish there. Yeah, alpha play from Phil, no assistant coach. Doing everything himself. And when he got brains like he does, as a big Kuruwhiwhi toru, once again from Adam Barton.
Yeah, he's got his fingerprints all over this game, and especially to start the second half for Nelson. Great penetration and kick out for the wide open Kuruwhiwhi toru.
It's interesting, James Matthews, obviously in that under-15 team, was at the NZ camp for under-14s for his age group. And I'm not sure if he was there because I feel like with that jump shot, I would have remembered him. But there was so much talent there. Obviously, Oscar Goodman from New Plymouth was there. Jameer Reed, Merrick Rillstone was there as well. Just so much depth now that's coming through across the country. It's not just those central hubs, is it?
Yeah,
anymore, Josh.
Lucky Crate from Manawatu, I believe, was that one?
He had a big under-15s, didn't he?
Yeah, for Manawatu. Yeah. Shout out to Lockie. I know he's doing some intermediate coaching for my older sister out in Fielding today, so big shout out to them.
Love that. Already giving back at such a young age.
Have to shout out to sister. She's letting me stay at her house.
Then you borrowed the car as well?
Oh, no, I got Mum's car for that. So
it's a whole family affair.
It's a whole family affair. Mum lives in Wellington, so...
What happened there? Did you drive to
Wellington? Flew to Wellington, drove up yesterday. Yeah, so...
Good talk there from the bench of Nelson College. And again, a rebound. Can they get out and run? Yes, they can, but good tip.
Good tip there.
Here's Matthews on the right wing. Looks to be okay. You said he took a knock earlier in the first half.
On that charge, so ankle seems to be fine.
Oh, great step through and finish with the left hand from Nicholas Davidson. And we talked about Adam Barton having his fingerprints all this game.
Yeah.
Nicholas Davidson's compiling a pretty nice little stat line himself.
Yeah, he is, from what I saw, I was really impressed at South Island from Davidson. So he's just carrying that on into this. And, you know, it's a 16-point game, but I still feel like St. Bede's are still in with a shot in terms of what they're doing offensively.
Well, I think the key difference that's been between the two teams is Nelson's just been so hot from the three-point line that they've blown it out a little bit more probably than it should.
And they've been massive on the boards. You know, limiting St. Bede's to one shot and on the other end getting multiple.
And we're seeing a bit of a show there in terms of full court pressure from St. Bede's. I'd like them to dial it up a little bit more, get a bit more active, see if they can get some steals, make this a single point game heading into the fourth quarter. And finishes like that on the and one are gonna help, courtesy of James Lean.
Impressive finish there through the contact. I think he used his left hand because he's got pushed under.
Well, we'll have another look at that. Yes, just with the left hand finish.
Yeah. I'm a bit advocate of you need to be able to use both hands.
Yeah, if anyone wants to know Josh Davis's tip to scouting in the age group, force him to the weekend. Shout out to Josh, actually. It's quite strange. He's a former Rangitoto College student, coached the girls team here in 2019.
Yeah.
Seeing him in the red top of Westlake, taking some getting used to. But I think the cool thing about Josh is now he's the in-schools coordinator for Harbour.
Yeah.
He's got his fingerprints across.
He does a lot.
He's coached nearly every athlete that's here in a Harbour point of view, so knows all those players well and is doing a wonderful job.
Great finish there by
Ashton Walls. I better stop letting my Harbour bias know, or Leanne Barrett's going to come after me again, like she did during the D-League. Rebound Walls.
Coached against Sonny in the D-League, actually, twice. He had a nice wee Harbour squad, and they beat us in pool play, and we managed to get them back in the third and fourth game.
As we have another look at that drive, and yeah, good call. Defense initiated that contact.
Yeah, St. Bede's chipping away here. Chance to get it within single figures.
We said single figures by the end of the quarter at this rate. They're going to have a single possession by the end of the quarter. And it's all coming from the defensive end, isn't it? They're getting stops and it's leading them to run out early.
Limiting Nelson to one shot. And I think that was the key that we talked about in the half-time break. Limiting Nelson to offensive rebounds.
Great little leak out there. And again, a Kurufifi Toru is good from Sam Perkins. I mean, we were talking about Kenny Perkins last night.
Yep.
No relate. I'm sure there's no relation, but hey, if you got that name, you're good.
Nelson just seemed to find open shots at timely moments. You know, St. Bede's on a comeback and find Sam Perkins on a wide open three-pointer in the corner.
And then a big two-upper as well. He could have chased that down, but Lean, lovely bounce pass off the tupper. Lean again gives it up. And the tupper there just saying, hang on me, you're not going in. Here comes Matthews.
A 62-point man in juniors.
And big Kurufifi Toru. I thought that had almost missed and hit the bottom. It was so effortlessly through the net.
If you do not already know, I think Sam Perkins can shoot the ball.
Hopefully no other coach is watching this scout. James Lean from the free-throw line off the tupper. Two-upper is going to end up in a jump ball.
Possession to Nelson.
That's a bit of a killer, isn't it? But I mean, might have been talking to Ryan, or I don't know if you and I have discussed it. I love the 3x3 jump ball rule where the defense is rewarded with the ball. I don't know, is there a way in 5-on-5 where if it's a live ball situation and there is a possession for it to go to the defense, and then say when there's a loss of possession that it goes to the arrow? But I love rewarding the defense with the extra hustle. But there used to be a thing for Rosemary College, Matt Lacey and Sonny, when a player fouled out, everyone would get up and clap them because they liked it. They were working hard enough to actually do such a thing. Great hustle and good defense. What a swing pass to Matthews in the corner. Little floater off the tupper. 7 seconds to play here. Quick countdown, St. Bede's. Can they get it down for a good shot? They get to the three-point line, put it up. And that is long. So three-quarter time here in AA boys. Pool B action. It is Nelson College 63, St. Bede's 47. And I tell you what, even though it's a 16-point game, I do not feel at any point that this lead is safe. Still plenty of time here for St. Bede's to come back in this one. Both teams need a win if they want to try and keep their hopes alive of being boys AA champions.
I did like the little run there by St. Bede's. Nelson just settled down there in the last, I think, 3 minutes to go when Nelson Bede's had a chance to cut into this lead. Couple back-to-back threes from Sam Perkins. And we're in for a good finish, I think. Good finish.
Hopefully a better finish than some of those dance moves. I tell you what, how confident the kids now, though. If that screen was on me, I am hiding behind my seat.
You have TikTok on your phone?
Nah, I had it when it first came out, and then I deleted it.
Yeah, social media is open so many doors for kids to be so confident, which is great, you know.
That's cool, man. I wish I was a bit more confident when I was younger. If you ask anyone that I went to school with, they would not believe you that I commentate because I was an absolute mute. Did not speak a single word.
I'm going to say that I do not believe that.
Honest, like I'm serious. I chat to people like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I commentate basketball from time to time." They're like, "No, you don't."
People probably believe it because I talk probably too much when I'm in public. So they're like, yeah, I'm not surprised. And we see our youth up in the stands.
That's cool, man. I tell you what, I am looking forward to tonight to some single A semi-finals action. We've got one boys and one girls game.
Mate, we're in for a good playoff night tonight with the single A's. Watching Manu Kuda play Opunaki for top of the Pool A. I believe Opunaki might have snuck that one out.
I just couldn't believe the level, because Apparima College, I actually quite enjoyed watching them play last night, and then they didn't even sniff the semi-finals, so it's going to be some hotly contested action.
And, you know, Te Aroha going into overtime, 2 overtime losses knocked them out of their pool. So, like you said, they might need to think about the 2-3 playoff game in the single A.
Because they actually had it for the girls, because there's a pool of 5, pool of 4.
Yeah.
Something for Catherine Jallis to think about. She's going to be so sick of me by the end of this tournament. Catherine, can we do this? Catherine, can we do that? Andrew, go away.
Hey, but we're going to improve and give the teams better chances, you know, if they are in a tough pool.
Another big kuruwhiwhi toru there for Taylor Matthews. Well, I heard one great idea actually is that BBNZ should do a draw, and then they should send it out to all the associations to get sign off on.
Yeah.
Find out where they're staying, how long it's going to take them to get there. I'm waiting for Catherine just to look across me from the BBNZ office. Hasn't happened yet, so she's obviously not watching.
No, she's probably over walking around, interacting like she does.
It's great. It's funny, she's actually saying to me, she's like, it was great at A-Troop Nationals because no one knew who I was. So I could just walk around, whereas now, and I felt that as well when I was doing local league administration.
Yeah.
When people start figuring out who you are, you're in trouble because you can't go anywhere.
That's why I give kudos to our man Connor O'Fee that used to run all the tournaments. Shout out Connor, if you're listening.
I think he might be down here for finals as well. And we're going to see, actually, I haven't seen that call, so I've forgotten what it's completely called.
Carry?
Carry ball, that's the one. Oh, my brain's falling apart. It's only day 3. Good stuff.
That's right. We got some good games coming up in the next round.
Yeah, good call actually on that carry. So St. Bede's lovely little drive, and what a block from Devontae Meredith.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a menace in the paint, rebounding defensively, and he's got a few key offensive rebounds for Nelson.
Out comes St. Bede's. And I tell you what, even though it's a beautiful finish there, I like the little stutter on the defensive end, just trying to put the offensive player in 2 minds. Didn't work, but I like to see it.
St. Bede's just hanging around. You know, if they can cut it, like we said, in the single figures with about 4 minutes to go, we're in for a good game.
Still so much time. I don't know about you, Josh, but I don't feel comfortable at this point if it's less than 2 points a minute as your lead.
Yeah. Yeah, I will. As a coach, when you're down double figures, you kind of just have little goals in your head. How many points you want to claw it back, and then we see a brain trust there, Adam Morgan, Kat Jones, and Tessa Boakney.
Adam Morgan, the most active coach I think I've ever seen.
Yes, I saw him sliding the other day. I think you and Ryan talked about it in the commentating.
Yeah, former Division 1 wide receiver.
Yep.
Goals.
I believe St. Andrews, St. Peter's today.
Is it?
Yep.
Ooh.
After this.
I'm torn where to go next, because I was going to stay and watch Westlake and Mags, as that is the same pool, and it's going to help to determine it. But yeah, St. Peter's, St. Andrews and the girls. I love moving day. The final day of pool play, when it starts getting 1v2 in each pool, things get interesting. And it's interesting across the pool, isn't it? Because you've got, you know, the teams lower down. It's a beautiful jump shot there for St. Bede's. But the teams who have struggled maybe earlier on in the pool play,
yep,
get to play some tighter games. Another kuruwhiwhi toru is good for Taylor Matthews.
Him and Sam Perkins have hit big 3-pointers for Nelson College throughout the game.
Oh, young James Matthews as well.
Yeah.
Here come Nelson College. But I tell you what, even though they're up 18, St. Bede's doing some wonderful things.
Yeah. They just haven't got the rub of the green in this game, and as you see.
Another kuruwhiwhi toru for Taylor Matthews. And I wonder, I saw it when Rangitoto Girls had 5 shooters at one point in 2019. But do you just try and deny everything and play everyone tight so that they can't get any threes?
Well, like, it's tough though, right? Because you have so many good. Nelson have slashers in their team, so you kind of, it's a pick your poison, right? You either give away a layup.
It reminds me of when I played NBA Live 06 a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
And Steve Kerr would talk about Tracy McGrady and say, pick your poison with McGrady. If you try and get up on him, he's just going to drive straight past you. If you back off, he's going to hit the three. As a great take there from Ashton Walls, and he's going to go to the line. And somehow, I don't know how this has got to a 21-point game, because it does not feel like it at all.
No, just Nelson just came out firing, you know. I think they've hit 10 threes this game, and that's the real difference, right? And they just slowly built this 21-point lead.
Well, when you've got a coach like the bald bucket, Sammy D, leading the troops. It reminds me, we've coached one game. I don't know if you know Tinashe Matambanadzzo, used to play for the Southland Sharks.
Yep.
Once upon a time, coached Long Bay and was a massive Golden State Warriors fanatic. They shot 63 threes in a game against us and scored 47 points. But it was just maniacal, the amount of times he's just like, yep, shoot it.
I think we can blame that on Steph Curry and Clay. But we can say that. We don't have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson in our teams that can shoot lights out like that, you know what I mean? And you want to play a certain style, but you got to have the players to be able to execute the way that you want. And
I tell you what, the jump shots though that young kids have got now, we saw Story Stadler in the game before. She's only year 10. She has an adult jump shot. It's so nice, the form of it. And she was making a high percentage, averaging 33 points a game in these championships. And then always my favourite jump shot, Julius Halaifanua, is textbook stuff. And he's 7 foot, man. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, so, wow. That's the beauty of watching it on YouTube and learning, you know, and then having all these great skills coaches that we have around the country that help these kids put in the work. And, you know, fixing it early is always good. And I guess for players, it's the willingness to learn and soak in what coaches are telling you. That's the biggest thing, I think. If they're willing to learn and change the way that they shoot and play, and kudos to them.
Josh, you're talking about St Andrews versus St Peter's, the game you're looking forward to. Is anything else later on? I know you've switched commentary roles, so you're doing the 5:45 game with me instead of 7:30. It's beautiful, and one for St Bede's, but I've set you up there. You don't actually have a draw in front of you, do you?
No, I do. I've got one right here.
What other games? If someone is local and they're looking at coming down, what action can they look forward to tonight?
Yeah, so obviously that big St. Peter's, St. Andrews game coming up. Like you said, the Mount Albert Grabber Westlake boys one. And obviously the semi-finals for the A coming up tonight. The big ones that you want to see.
The lob, the layup.
I was excited there because I was hoping for a big dunk. And if you haven't seen Westlake girls play, come down and check them out because they are a very good basketball team.
Was chatting to Bronwyn Davidson this morning while she was ordering her morning coffee. Never seen Bronwyn, I mean she is always actually quite relaxed, but just didn't seem very careless at the time.
Yeah.
And it's when you've got players that she's got on her team and they've got the results they've had, why not?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
That's why I'm bald now. I never had those kind of teams.
Yeah, neither.
Great run out. Oh, left hand change.
Finish.
But a great put back there on the two-upper. Courtesy.
I like the trap here from St. Bede's, just to speed Nelson up, see if they can get them into a quick shot as we see.
Yeah, good call. Pushing the back there.
No argument there from Hunter.
As we have another look at that. Look at this change though.
Yeah, that would have been
converted
nice.
that.
And I think Christ College is another team to go watch with Hunter Adam and Tom Harris. And Ben Sheet.
Great block there once again, St. Bede's. Need a quick basket here. 3.5 minutes to play. Get themselves back into it. Be a Christ As Kurufifi Toru is good. Ashton Walls, 14-point game.
They can get within singles with about 2 to go, then
They got the defensive stand they wanted, but O-boards are a killer. And Nelson very smartly slowing it down, but 5 on the shot clock to the hoop.
Oh, great cut,
what a
great
cut,
find.
and no good. Turapa, here comes St. Bede's.
See, that's a good, that cut there is I know he's going to cut. He's not going to stand.
Walls again! And do you think about a timeout here if you're Nelson College? Looks like Sam Dempster's making his way slowly to the school bench.
I think if you don't score here and Bede's come down and score, you definitely are thinking timeout from Sam Dempster.
This game is back alive. Another steal here from Walls.
For 3 in a row.
Unconscious.
Oh.
Rebound. Put back, no good. Who's going to end up with it? The referee getting in the way and actually helping Nelson College, but Walls again.
It's timeout. There it is.
Take the timeout. Well done, Sam Dempster. But St. Bede's not going away without a fight in this one. Got it back to 9 points. Josh Thompson, what does Nelson have to do? Is it just taking a bit more time on every
I think a bit more
position?
time, every position. You know, don't panic. St. Bede's have kind of sped them up a little bit. And not being careless with the ball at the top in terms of dribbling it out. Maybe just run your offense, get a good look, and just attack the offensive rebounds like they've been doing. And, you know, a great job by St. Bede's though. You know, they speed the game up, forcing Nelson into quick shots, and then, you know, that man, Ashton Walls, I think he's got 8 straight points. Yeah, back-to-back threes and that steal and the layup. So
he's been an absolute electric spark here for St. Bede's.
I did say single figures with about 2 minutes to go.
You did.
And then it's almost like I'm blowing my own horn there.
If any teams are wanting an experienced coach, please contact Josh Thompson. You can find him on Facebook. It is funny, when you do those kind of prediction things and it comes right, it's like, yeah. Feels good.
Oh, for sure.
As we see Westlake boys there in the background, getting ready for their game, set to tip off at 2:15. I was about to say 4 o'clock. They get 2-game break today. This is, I thought only players got breaks like that.
Oh, that's great. How you get the 2-game breaks.
Cheers, Catherine Jealous. As you say hello to Rocco Chang, and hopefully he's going to remember to box out like he forgot to against Canterbury in the under-15s. Once upon a time. Cost him a finals berth. Nelson College here. Good pressure from St. Bede's. Almost foul. Referee thought about it into the on-ball screen going over. Good help defense swarming St. Bede's. Can they force another turnover deep? Kurufifi Toru.
It's a great stop.
And St. Bede's didn't realise they hadn't hit anything over the back, so they could have fought for it.
They could have. Quick shot.
Minute 55 to play here. St. Bede's, a little half-court pressure from Nelson College. Can they disrupt? Can they get a steal? St. Bede's doing a wonderful job getting it up. Thinking about ball rotation to the hoop. Kick it out, Walls again.
Oh, they needed that one. Great find.
Great rebound, Nelson College. And still so much time here. Don't foul. St. Bede's, just keep pressuring, don't foul. Although I tell you what, they've only on their second foul, so maybe they can just be a little bit over-aggressive. Burn a couple fouls on the ground. Good defense here, swarming. Forcing. Here's the drive with the left hand. Good kick out. Kurufifi, Toru attempt. Off the rim.
Great rebound. Oh, they lost the...
And that's heartbreaking. And I thought he actually almost had possession of there, so that could have been 24, but Joe Frost, man of the people. 4 seconds on the shot clock to the hoop.
Great take by Davidson.
And yeah, as you said, just that little costly turnover off the offensive rebound. When they look back at this one, St. Bede's, should they go down, that could be one of those little plays that comes back to haunt them. And no good with the first.
Just giving St. Bede's a little sniff. Are you thinking, would you be calling a timeout here? Just to conserve.
What have they got? 2? No, I would save them.
Save them?
I would save them at this stage. Well, you can't take one anyway if it's a miss. Potential foul call. Here comes St. Bede's out and racing.
Something at the rim.
Just as Josh Thompson drew up. Fighting again. St. Bede's get it back. These miracle passes paying off. Kick out. Kurufifi Toro attempt. Is good.
6-point game. Massive. Great hustle.
Down to 2 possessions. 37 seconds to play.
You're getting it over.
And smart here. Be aggressive. You can waste a foul. You still got... I wouldn't now. Now you're down to 8 seconds in the shot clock.
Kind of just letting it go.
Great little back cut. Spin. Finds the open shooter. No good.
Oh, great offensive rebound.
Meredith could have just held it. Just hold it. Just kick it out. There you go.
There you go.
Smart play here from Nelson College. Getting chased down by St. Bede's. 4 seconds. 3. And the foul is called. And time's going to need to be put back on the clock there. That should be about 3.7.
3.7. I think they left it. I think when Meredith got the rebound, you need a foul straight away. Offensive rebound, foul, conserve time.
Time hasn't gone back on the clock. So that is going to do it for us here. Heartbreak for St. Bede's. Ecstasy for Nelson College. Their hopes are still alive before their big game tonight. I believe they got Sacred Heart tonight at 7:30.
Yep. 7:30 game is Nelson Sacred Heart, and St. Bede's will play, if I can find it.
Might be Rosmini that they have.
No, they've already played Rosmini.
Mags?
Could be Mags. Mags, yep. Mount Albert Grammar.
So we will be back from 5 or 20 to 6 with semi-final action tonight in the Single A boys and Single A girls. If you are local, do come down and watch. There's some great games. As coming up next on the show call, that was not live streamed, Westlake versus Mount Albert Grammar could determine whether or not Nelson College's effort was in vain or if it's going to help them get through. From Josh Thompson, Andrew Horrocks, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you later on tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this isn't about what we wore back in the day.
we're going to go now. Going once, going twice, no more offers.
It's about being trusted to get a better result for our clients since 1973.
Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per litre fuel discount at your local Caltex with Pumped every day. Ah, feels good, eh? Get it at any participating Caltex.